Memorizing verses is such a great way to improve your understanding of Sanskrit. Every single thing can be illustrated by verses. And so that's why I try to give verse examples for most of the things that we learn. Let's learn this verse today. So now, yathā prakāṣayatyeka kritsnam lokamimam ravi kshetrang kshetri tathā kritsnam prakāṣayati bharata. So I just want you to look at this verse a bit, look at the construction. Okay? So prakāṣayati here comes at the beginning, yathā prakāṣayati, and in this one prakāṣayati comes at the end. Right? Because Bharata doesn't count. So, and then you have everything else. So, yathā prakāṣayati ekaha is the subject here, and ravihi is the subject. So that's being split up. The subject is split up. Ekaha, ravi. So, lokam imam kritsnam. Imam kritsnam lokam. This entire world. Imam kritsnam lokam. We just did imam, right? Imam ayam lokaha, imam lokam, dvitiya vibhakti. And kritsnam, kritsnam is an adjective describing lokam imam. So it means complete, entire. So now here he's repeating all the same words, or not all of them, but he's repeated kritsnam, and he's repeating prakāṣayati. So now the two other things, you have ravihi. So ravihi is the nominative case over here, and here we have kshetri. So kshetri is like kshetrin, like sannyasin, and then kshetram is the accusative case. So the kshetragya illuminates the entire kshetra in the same way that the one sun illuminates the entire world. Right? So one conscious living entity in the body illuminates that body just the way that one sun illuminates its solar system. Right? So the solar system is being compared to the body. Okay, so that's a great verse for just understanding the yathā tathā kind of verse, because it's almost completely one for one, everything is being matched. Ekaha ravihi is being matched with kshetri, and prakāṣayati is just being repeated. So you see right away that the ekaha ravihi is the kshetri, the lokam imam kritsnam is the kshetram kritsnam, and prakāṣayati is illuminates. It's in both of the sides. So yathā prakāṣayati tathā prakāṣayati. O Bharata, just as yathā, the one sun, ekaha ravihi, lights up prakāṣayati, this entire world, imam kritsnam lokam, so does tathā, the embodied soul, kshetri, light up prakāṣayati, the entire field, kritsnam kshetram, Bharata, with consciousness. Okay, we don't need Bharata here. Okay, so that's a good one. So then you have yathā tathā. Okay, so this is a very famous verse. Everybody knows this one, right? Yathā tathā vavidudhātu lampato mat prananathas tu sa eva na paraha. Okay, so everybody knows this verse. You may or may not know it, but this is from Sikṣāṣṭaka. So we're doing a lot of Sikṣāṣṭaka verses. I think I've given examples, Sikṣāṣṭaka verses, for at least 5 of the verses from Sikṣāṣṭaka. But this is really a good one because it says yathā tathā. So here Radharani, Radhika is saying to Krishna, or saying about Krishna, that Krishna is a lamparta. So that's the nominative case, right? Lampartaha, so that's the subject. So lampataha vidadhatu, yathā tathā va vidadhatu lampato. So let him do whatever he likes, whatever he wants. Right? So this is, I use the word ordain, but it really means whatever he does. Right? I'm just trying to give you the original meaning of vidadhatu. Right? But it means whatever he does, that's okay. Whatever he does, mat prana nathas tu sa eva na paraha. He is mat prananathas. And this compound, it means my prananatha. So prananatha, that combination of words is very frequent. Pranapati. right? Prana, and then you can have other words for prana, like asu. Asu also means prana. So you can say asupati, asunatha. So this is the way that you take two words and you make compounds and you mix and match. So here prananatha is the most common one though. So prananatha, the Lord of my life, right? Mat prananatha, he is the Lord of my life. Tu, but, saha, he, eva, alone, nobody else, na aparaha, na, not aparaha, anybody else. So he alone is my Lord of my life and not anybody else. Okay, so absolute commitment here. So that's why this verse is so considered such a great verse, because it shows absolute commitment. So that's the whole thing. So yathā tathā, whatever he does. So that's the idea of the yathā tathā. So there's two yathā in this sentence. There's a yathā down here, right? You see down here on the second line? Right? So right here you see yathā yathatma parimrijyate sau mat punyagata sravana vidhanai tathā tathā pashyati vastu sukshmam chakshur yathaivanjana samprayuktam. So this is nice because it gives you two uses of the word yathā. So here's yathā yathā, and that's going with tathā tathā. So it's also comparison, but here there's a second comparison. It says chakshur yathā eva anjana samprayuktam. So the trouble with this verse is a couple of things, there's 3 or 4 things already that we don't know. So let me explain it and we'll just end, but you get the mood of the verse, right? This is a nice Trishtup verse and it has that yathā yathā. So having that yathā yathā in the beginning is very rhythmic, and so there are many verses like this that start yathā yathā da 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 tathā tathā ta da 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 da. So yathā yathā atma parimrijyate so. So aso atma, right? Aso is nominative going with atma, but aso atma, so that self. So he's talking about the self. So as that self, so self has many meanings, right? Self can mean the body, it can mean the mind, and so on. In this case here, it's meaning the mind. So yathā yathatma parimrijyate, so Cheto darpana marjanam, remember that? So marjanam, mrijyate is coming from the same root. Parimarjyate, parimrijyate, being pari, all around. So being completely cleaned or washed. Right? So just to the extent that the Atma is completely washed, how is it washed? Well, here now you have this, you see, we have a passive tense, we have a passive voice. And this passive voice is going to come in chapter 4, right? So this is going to come up big time. When the passive voice comes, I say the passive voice, this is the make or break chapter, right? So the passive voice goes with the Tritiya Vibhakti. So it says, how is the heart going to be purified? How is the mind going to be purified? How is it going to be cleansed? Mat punyagata sravana vidhanai. Mat, here again, mat, my, punya, holy, gata, songs, shravana, hearing, and abhidhana, abhidha. So here abhidha means speaking, right? It's unusual. Abhidha is usually, abhidha means the spoken meaning of something, the abhidha vritti. But anyway, here abhidhana means chanting. So it means shravanam kirtanam here. Abhidhana means kirtana in this particular case. So mat punya gata sravana vidhanaik, mat punya gata sravana kirtanaik. So how do you purify the heart? How do you purify the mind? Yathā yathatma parimrijyate so mat punya gata sravana vidhanai. Tathā tathā, to that extent, one can see the subtle tattvas, the subtle truths, the subtle objects. So pashyati vastu sukshmam, and then the next one is an example. So chakshur yathā eva anjana samprayuktam. So here he's got chakshuhu. Chakshu means the eye. Yathā eva anjana samprayuktam. So just like the eye that has been treated with anjana, with this collyrium. So here, yathā yathā asau atma. Look at here. This is the yathā yathā asau atma matpunya gata sravana avidhanaih parimrijyate. So to the extent that that soul or that mind has been purified by hearing and chanting my punya gata, my sacred stories, my sacred songs, sa, that person, tathā tathā sukshmang vastu pashyati. To the same degree, he sees the subtle objects. Katam, how? Yathā eva, yathaiva, just like anjana samprayuktam chakshuhu, just like an eye that has been treated with anjana.